have kind of a sad video to make. We have been struggling with a predator getting into our chicken run during the day, and our coop is too small to keep our chickens locked up in. And so the first time it happened, I ordered wire. Everybody locally was out of the wire we needed. So long story short, I ordered the wire. It took freaking forever to get here. And in the meantime, we thought we had all of the holes like covered on the outside of our fence to make sure whatever it was that was getting in couldn't get in anymore. And unfortunately, that was not the case. So over a period of three different times, something got into our chicken run. And the first time they took out all of our turkeys, most of my adult chickens, and like 2 ducks. The next time they got everything else except for 1 chicken and 1 goose. And then I've been working on this fence. The wire came in this week. I've been working on it. This morning, whatever it was, came in and attacked our goose. I have to finish this coop today. I went ahead and moved over half of my teenage chickens because after I finished like the main area, and I'm fixing to do the last side. I've been out here most of the day working on this. So I'm going to do the last side, and I'm just going to show you guys what we're doing. So this is our coop. It looks really funky, but it's very secure. So it has cattle panels that actually go into the ground some, as like the part that's around the top. And then over that cattle panel, we have hardware cloth and chicken wire. And then in the front section, we have a thick. So on this front section, we have this same wire that is here, and nothing sleeps near the front section, so I don't really have to worry about raccoons reaching in and grabbing anything, because nothing sleeps along this front. On the back, we have like the thick trellis material stuff that I have back there, along with like some plywood and stuff, and then the tarp covers the back as well. This thing is secure. We've had raccoons try to get in and they can't. And then the pallet, the pallet door, yes, this is like a redneck janky thing, but the pallet door has this same wire right here on it as well. And so when I close it, it is all that board that goes along the top. The wire actually connects to that, and then, you know, I close it along the edge of the pallet here. So it closes along the pallet. But that's secure. We don't have any issues with this. Nothing is getting in here anymore. And I went ahead and took care of all of the raccoons that were getting in. As you can see, all my teenage chickens that I put in here are like having a blast today. But now we're on the issue of like stuff getting in during the day. And that coop is not big enough for me to lock chickens in there and just like make them stay in there during the day. It would just be inhumane. It's for sleeping and for laying eggs, and that's all that structure is there for. Protected sleeping and laying eggs. It's not big enough for anything else. So where the wire meets the ground right here, it's not buried, because this entire pen, it's pretty big. Started out as a dog pen. Our dogs were going next door and bothering it's a deer lease next door, and they were barking at the people that were going over there to hunt, and we didn't want them to scare the deer away, so we built this fence to keep the dogs in during deer season on the weekends while those people were there. Our dogs are very stubborn, and all of our big dogs climbed the fence. So we started working with them more and training them, and they don't go over there anymore. Whenever they're hunting, they stay home. So that's not an issue anymore. And then we decided, instead of having our chickens free ranging, because we were losing chickens, we decided to put our chickens in here. And that is why it's not really a chicken like setup. It's not a chicken fence that goes into the ground the way it should. Realistically, your chicken runs should be buried. So this wire should be buried. They say 2 feet, but our ground is so hard I would say we're probably safe if we had just buried it like 6 inches, maybe 8 inches. But anyways, it should be buried all the way around the entire thing. Like I said, it's not because it's a dog run. And whatever it is was getting up underneath. It wasn't on this side, but there are some like little dips in the ground and stuff, and that's where it was going under. So now disclaimer, chicken wire does not protect your chickens. Predators can bust through chicken wire. I know this is a fact. So don't come at me for this, okay? Let me show you what we're doing and it'll make sense, okay? So I am attaching the chicken wire. Like I said, this is chicken wire. I know this isn't gonna do anything, but I'm attaching the chicken wire here. This is a 4-inch section. So it's attached 4 inches up the fence and then attached at the top of this section and at the bottom all the way around. I have one side left, and I'm going to kind of show you guys how I'm doing this on the last side. And then this skirts out about 14 inches. So this is about 14 inches where this skirts out. Now, my reasoning for doing this is because I am going to go get dirt from the back of my property and cover all of this up to at least here, if not higher. I might even put it up here. Sorry, ignore my yucky shoes. These are my work shoes. So I'm going to put dirt all the way around this entire thing and have it come up high. My goal is for the chicken wire to help hold the dirt on. Okay, this is what I'm thinking. The chicken wire is going to hold the dirt together as it hardens, and if something does manage to go and start digging that 4 inches down, it's going to hit wire. Now, I know that realistically speaking, anything that's going to be digging through could eventually break through the chicken wire and dig under, but I really don't think that whatever it is going to be able to dig through, break through the wire, get into the chicken coop before our dogs hear them, okay? Our big dogs are out here all the time, or before my camera alerts me that there's something out here. And so this just gives us an extra layer of protection without having to dig down into the ground, because we can't right now. Unless we rent some type of trencher or something, like you cannot dig in this ground right now. We are in Texas. We have red clay, and we have had one little bitty short shower of rain since the beginning of June, and it's now the beginning of September. Our ground is like rock. You can't dig in it right now. And so while I can use the tractor and go to the back of the property near our pond where it's a little softer and get the dirt to cover this wire, I can't dig through it. Like, there's no way. And so this was the best solution that I could come up with to keep my chickens safe, because my teenage chickens have been locked in a smaller area and they really needed to get out. They were starting to pick on each other. The issue was I couldn't move them out here until I figured out a solution. And yeah, it took a couple of weeks for the wire to get here. It's been a nightmare. So now that the wire's here, I've been working the past 2 days to get this done. And by the end of today, it'll be done. I'm going to put the dirt down on multiple areas before it gets dark. And then first thing in the morning, I'll be out here finishing it up. And I won't let the teenage chickens out of there unless I'm out here. So they're going to stay in the coop for a little bit in the morning, which won't hurt them while I'm working on this. And then I'll let them out. And I will move the other half of my teenage chickens out here tomorrow as well. And then they'll all be out here. And we actually have 20 adult chickens coming. A friend of ours is giving me 20, his entire flock. He has to have surgery and can't really take care of them, and so he's giving me his flock. And that's another reason I had to make sure this coop was very secure, this run, so that nothing happens to his chickens, because they're his babies and I want to make sure that he can come visit them and everything, and that they're safe. So we're doing this, and then our plans eventually will be to have a second chicken coop and chicken run closer to the house. But as you guys know, on a homestead, everything's expensive, everything takes time and money, and it's been so hot. So we're trying to get as much done as we can in the hours where it's not 108 degrees outside. Yes, 108 degrees Fahrenheit, if you heard that correctly. It has just been, it's been really rough out here. And so like right now it's probably in the high 80s, which is not bad, and there's a little bit of a breeze. So I'm working in the mornings and in the evenings when it's not super hot. So because of the weather, it's taken me 2 days to do this. If it wasn't hot, I could have done all of this in one day. No big deal. It would have been super simple, but it's hot out here, so it's taking me a couple of days. But anyways, I just kind of wanted to explain to you guys what we're doing. And now I'm just going to leave the camera up of a little time lapse and show you guys the process of how I'm doing this, because, you know, there are a lot of videos out there saying you have to bury the wire, you have to do this, you have to do that, you can't use chicken wire, you have to use hardware cloth or whatever. I can break hardware cloth if I try hard enough. So, and hardware cloth rusts, in my opinion, just as fast as chicken wire. And so, considering I'm literally doing, this is a 70 or 75 by 50, so I'm doing almost 250 feet of fence. We couldn't use hardware cloth. Like, we can't afford it right now. One day we'll be able to afford it, but right now that's just not in the budget. And so we're doing what we can with the money that we have to dedicate to our chickens. And so this is the best plan that I could come up with. The cat's over here really wanting attention. This is Pixie. She's named after some type of Pokemon. We have Litten and Pixie. Y'all, I don't remember the full, like, Pokemon. If you are a Pokemon fan, let me know which Pokemon you think she's named after, and I'll ask my kids to confirm, because I don't remember which one. I get really confused on all the Pokemon names, but they really are really into Pokemon. So her name is, I just call her Pixie because I can't remember the name of the Pokemon ever. So I just call her Pixie, which is, it's like the shortened version. If you took, Pixie is in the name of the Pokemon. I just don't remember the actual name. And then Litten is her brother. And of course, he's named after a Pokemon too. So, all right, I'm going to quit jabbing and get to work before it gets too dark. So here is the last section I have, and what I did is I took a 3-foot roll of wire and I cut it in half. So I would lay it down on one side, get it all attached, and then I cut it along the half line point. All of the chicken wire has like a wire that shows you where the halfway mark is. So I cut along that halfway mark, and then I already had, so this is from the other side that I cut off. Kitty cat, the cat's hitting the camera. So it's already the perfect size for this size. I won't have to cut it or anything, and it will take me a little less time to do than the sides where I had to cut. Thank goodness, because my legs and my back are really sore from bending over and trying doing all this. Just like to say that I'm not laughing because there's anything funny about the loss of our chickens. It's kind of one of those things where if you don't laugh, you're gonna cry. And I've already cried enough over the fact that this has happened. I was really upset. I'm upset about the goose, so I'm really hoping that he makes it. Of course I was upset about the chickens. I was really upset about the turkeys because they were really cool. And they were all heritage breed turkeys, so we were hoping to be able to breed them next year and hatch out our own turkeys and things like that. So the whole thing was really upsetting, and I sat out here and just like was mad. I yelled and I cried and all the things. so at this point, I'm just fixing the problem the best way I know how, and I can't let myself just cry about it anymore. So anyways, I just wanted to say that because I know some people who don't know me in person don't get that, like, in moments of sadness, if I've already cried and gotten it out, I just kind of laugh over things versus crying, because nobody wants to be sad, you know? I don't like being sad, so I kind of just try not to dwell in those sad moments. Like, there's nothing I can do about the loss that has already happened. And so I'm going to fix it the best I can. Oh my gosh. Our cat almost snatched a bird out of the air. That was wild. There was a red bird that, like, flew across, and the cat used the outside of the fence and, like, used the fence kind of to climb and jumped up and almost caught it out of the air. Pretty cool. Anyways, so I'm going to get started on this. I'll show you guys how I'm attaching this wire. And if you're looking for anything that I'm using, I will add those. I have a link tree, so I'll post the link tree up here somewhere, the actual link tree, and then on there it'll say, like, top homesteading tools, and everything that I'm using will be linked. If you click on that link, it'll be linked in there, because I got all of this on Amazon, and they're a lot higher quality than the ones I bought locally, so I would totally buy these through Amazon if I needed to replace them again. And they're better quality, and they're a better price. Like, they're more affordable. So just so you guys know, all of that will be there, and I do get, you know, a little bit off of you guys shopping off my link. So if you click on go here, and then if you click on my link, it really does help me out. Every penny helps, and anything that we make from the videos, like showing the chickens and stuff, will go towards chicken food, chicken treats, things like that. So all right, I have to get busy. It's starting to get dark. Alrighty, we kind of have everything set up. As you can see, this is laying to where it's right here. I'm going to be careful because the camera is kind of on a slant. This is this tool. So it looks like this. These are the little C-clamps. And what I have found works best is if you put, or J-clamps, I'm sorry, they're J-clamps, not C-clamps. You sit it like that in there with the curved part on this double-ended side. You're going to pinch it so it's tight, but not too much. And then I'm going to find the one I want to connect it to. Make sure both of my wires are hooked in that C. Kind of start closing it and squeeze it closed. Now, the more you do this, the easier it gets. I'm going to put one more right here just to kind of show you guys one-handed so my arm doesn't get in the way. As you can see, this is all loaded in here. See if it'll focus. Loaded in there. I hold these in my hand because it's easier. I just load it up and then reach over. It's clamped on there. Let me see if I can give you guys a better view. Hold on. So I'm going to hook it on there. You can see I've got both wires, and then I'm going to close and squeeze really good. I used these to build all of my rabbit cages. Now, see right here, I'm going to connect this to the bottom, and you can see that top area is grabbing the chicken wire. The bottom of the J is around my fence. And I'm just going to clamp that down really good, and both wires are in there. And that's it. I am going to do that. I'm going to do more right here since this is a connecting point, but then I do one every third. So I do one here, skip two, do one here on the top, and then I do one on the bottom in the middle of those two top ones. So it's like one here, one, two, third one, I put a clamp, and then I put a clamp at the middle of the two top ones. These two are closer just because I wanted to show you guys. Alrighty, so yeah, that is what I'm fixing to be doing for probably another 45 minutes or until it gets completely dark, because It's starting to get late and the sun is going down. So yeah, I'm gonna try to finish this up. It's the next day and I have all of the wire down and connected to the fence. So now I am just grabbing dirt from the back of our property, or I should say digging the dirt up with the tractor, which is not an easy task. But I'm going to bring all of this dirt and start dumping it on the little skirting, and then I'll bring a rake out here once I have enough dirt and spread it all out. Here you can see how nice the skirting looks all the way around the chicken run. It's held up really well overnight. And yeah, I'm just really excited to get it completely covered and know that the chickens will be safe from anything being able to dig up underneath the fence. And this is what it looks like now that it's all done. I will continue once we have a rainy season to add more clay around this fence just to continue keeping it built up so that I make sure, nothing ever has a chance to dig and get to the chicken wire that we've laid down. But this is what I have so far. It's about 4 to 6 inches depending on where you're at on the fence, and everything is very packed down and covered really well. Yeah, I just want to thank you guys for hanging out with us today. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys later. Bye.